I am addicted to my phone, and even though I made videos about this before and use my phone a lot more productively now, I am addicted, still. And so are you probably. I mean, you clicked this video. So why does the phone always win when there are 1,000 other activities out there? Why is it that when we want to be less on our phones, we manage to do it for a while, but not sustainable and long-term? And how do we actually change that? First of all, your alternatives suck. Think about this for a second. Your phone is simply the best option you have in that moment. Is there anything you genuinely enjoy, apart from your work, chores and your daily responsibilities? Maybe you practiced a hobby in the past. Maybe you still do, but haven't got the time for it. Too many responsibilities, too much work, and the overall feeling of being drained. The crucial point is sometimes you think you're so tired and exhausted and need the break on your phone. It's almost like a reflex. You sit down and without even thinking you take out your phone. And over time that reflex spreads into more and more areas of your life. In the bathroom, while brushing your teeth, even while eating or cooking. Yeah, I don't know how I did this. Your phone is your default escape. Most of the time you're not even consciously choosing it. This way you prevent boredom, thoughts and effort. But let's go back to the alternatives. We live in a century where at least most of us humans have the privilege to choose a hobby. And there's like an infinite amount of them. Something artistic. Art is not limited to drawing and painting. You can create whatever your imagination is capable of. Craft something with your hands, or do music, photography, or go hiking. The great thing, you choose and you don't need to stick to one thing. Try many and find out what you're most passionate about. Now, why are we talking about hobbies? Isn't this video supposed to be about the phone? Well, yes, that's why here's probably the most important sentence of the video. Repeat the sentence and listen closely. Your brain doesn't choose what's good for you, it chooses what's most stimulating. Because if we really have all these options, why does it still feel so hard to actually do them? It seems like you're in control of what you do, when what's actually happening is this. Your body is constantly looking for this little chemical called dopamine. You probably heard it before, maybe even in one of my videos. And the biggest misconception? Dopamine isn't really about making you happy. It's more about motivation and reward. It tells your brain, this is worth doing again. In the past this was very useful. Not in the past, yesterday, but thousands of years ago. The reward for hunting was food. The reward for shelter was, well, shelter. This is how our brain pushed us to do hard but necessary things for survival. Now in today's world, your phone is one of the strongest sources of a dopamine trigger. Short videos, notifications, doom scrolling. At first that sounds great. I mean, you feel happy and entertained, right? Over time you might notice something. Longer, more boring tasks start to feel incredibly difficult. Not because you suddenly can't do them, but because your brain has gotten used to fast and easy rewards. And don't even get me started on all the great things you could have done in the meantime. All the adventures, your hobbies, socializing. Even half an hour of screen time a day equals to more than 1 year of your lifetime. Remember that. Okay, where were we? We need an activity, a hobby. The thing is, many people in our generation with phones have never practiced a real hobby. Maybe there are many things you enjoy. Great. Maybe there are a few things you enjoy. Good. Maybe you think there is nothing you enjoy. Well, I don't think so. The thing is, you need investment. You need to practice for a while. Most hobbies seem boring at the beginning because they are difficult and they need a while to get used to. I remember the first time I went running. It was a disaster. I was running way too fast and was always so exhausted after about 2 kilometers. Stitches, wrong shoes, but the great thing, you learn over time. It was even worse when I started learning to play the guitar. And especially then, the first weeks and months are the most difficult ones. What do I mean by difficult? Well, it's not only the pain on your fingers or in your hand from stretching into the chords. The biggest factor of difficulty is your phone. The thought of, well, I'll never learn this, it's too difficult or it's too boring. So you grab your phone and it's over. That's why it's so important to set a goal. A good one, not too ambitious, not too easy. And I personally wouldn't set goals like, I want to learn this in 1 month or I want to be this good in 3 months. Rather, I'll sit down every day for a minimum of half an hour and practice. That's it, no pressure added, because pressure kills creativity. In real life, the attitude towards your hobby becomes better over time. For the phone, it's the opposite. Long-term, easygoing dopamine is way better than quick dopamine. You get used to too much and normal life feels dull. If you only take away one thing from my video, find something you enjoy to do on your own. Because, well, we usually use our phones when we're alone. Give it enough time to become enjoyable. And don't expect it to beat your phone on day one. If your life is boring, your phone will always win. Not because you're weak, but because it's the better option. So what does all of this actually mean? It means you don't have a phone problem. You have an alternative problem. As long as there's nothing in your life that can compete with your phone, you will always come back to it. Not because you lack discipline, but because your brain is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So the goal isn't to use your phone less. That doesn't work long term. The goal is to build something better than your phone. Something that's challenging enough to engage you, but enjoyable enough to make you come back. And yes, this takes time. But once you have that, your phone stops being the default.